All right, so we're going to go right into it because there's a lot we're going to cover. We're going to first cover the vessel. So the first half this morning is about how do we create the vessel by removing our limited beliefs. So creating the vessel, this involves cultivating a belief system that is open and receptive to receiving. It requires aligning your thoughts and emotions with your desires, ensuring they are free from limiting beliefs that could hinder manifestation. We all have it. There's a billionaire in this room, he or she has limited beliefs. We all have some form of limited belief. This is what the Kabbalists call tikkun. We'll learn about it in Kabbalah 1. Tikkun is the spiritual baggage our soul came into this world to correct. It's the aspects of us that are unlike the Creator. You can work so hard and be so talented, but if our belief system about receiving is limited, then that energy has nowhere to go. We draw energy, but it stays in like escrow. It stays in this unmanifested realm until we have the earnership, the worthiness to receive. And we're going to go through a lot of limited beliefs around that soon. Then we're going to talk about how we draw in the energy. Those of you who are familiar with the Kabbalistic phrase, the bread of shame. Bread of shame is basically the feeling the vessel, the soul has when it has not earned what it is receiving. We must remove the bread of shame on a physical level and a spiritual level. And I'll walk you through it practically. All right. Are there any questions so far? Could you stand back just so people see? No.
See if I can remember what my question is.
Where are you from, Brett?
Laguna Beach.
Very nice.
Okay, my question is, how do we leave room for the mystery, for space for more money to come in if we're setting expectations or we're telling
the universe a number?
What that number
is.
A
finite number, right? That's a great question. Everyone understands the question? Yeah. All right. And I'm happy you asked it because at the end of the day, it is our job to establish in this physical world a goal, something that we can hold ourselves accountable to. I would also say, and it's good that you're bringing this up, you need to simultaneously tell the Creator, I am open to whatever is meant for me, whatever is destined for me, more or less. I will do what I feel called to do, and I'm open to a different destiny as well. We need to have those two, because we don't want to be stubborn either. But we have to be firm, but not stubborn. And we have to hold space for both. Okay? It's very important. Because at the end of the day, we're going to learn this in the second half, you have to move forward and take action, even if you're doing the wrong thing. Because by being certain and taking action and doing the wrong thing, with the right intention, of course, the Creator will help you navigate to what the right thing is. And the best thing about failing or winning is in both cases, you have certainty. Doing nothing always causes us to be sitting in doubt and fear. So taking actions, very strategic actions, which we're going to learn, is going to be very valuable. Thank you for your question. Any other questions? All right. Yes, please.
I just know that you talk about how you can only get to a point of whatever you feel like you deserve. And so no matter what actions you're taking, if you're doing everything right, you still can't, you've called in the right people, this and that, but you're just like stuck at a certain level because you don't feel deserving of the level that you would love to be at.
That's correct.
So how do you get how do you know?
How do you break through that?
Yeah, and how do you know what level you
you're
feel
at.
like you're, yeah.
Okay, you're about to find out what level you're at, and in part 2, you're going to learn how to break through it. Okay. Yes. What's your name?
Heidi.
Heidi, please.
Yes. I wanted you to guide me about bread of shame. That's one of the biggest problems I have because I was raised in a way that you work hard and you share.
Yeah, you work hard and what?
And you share.
And you share.
And for me, sharing is a joy. And having blessing, that number one thing for me is to bless people around me.
Sure.
But I had to lose a lot of people because the more I was giving, the more I felt a lot of people were not happy. In a way, I was even told, you could have done more. You're creating more.
Yes.
Why don't you give more?
Yes.
And someone told me about bread of shame. And now I'm trying, after losing everyone that I loved, just because I got tired. And now I'm trying to create a balance. I still want to be a giver.
Why do you want to be a giver?
Because I think God blessed me and I attract good stuff in my life. And it's my duty as a God's child to help whomever He brings to.
One second. Duty. It's your duty. Usually, when we use this word, it's because we're trying to remove guilt and shame.
Maybe I was feeling guilty why I always had more than the others.
Okay.
Always had more
So
than
this is
the
good. So
others.
think about it. Thank you for sharing it, by the way, and thank you for acknowledging it. If you feel guilt that you have a lot, right? I know somebody who felt the same way. So every week she would go to Vegas to purposely lose hundreds of thousands of dollars.
No, I don't do that.
It's crazy. Because she said, I just don't. I said, why don't you give it to charity? It had to be something like, it had to be a she wouldn't leave until she lost it. And by the way, we go, oh my God. Well, come on, guys. Some of us stay in relationships until it gets so bad that they leave us so we don't have to deal with leaving them. So we all have like the self-destructive thing just to not confront the fear, right? So the way you remove bread of shame is not through giving, because as we see here, giving money and gifts over is actually me thinking about me. Oh my God, I have so much guilt, I gotta get rid of this almost, right? You're doing it in a much more elegant way, and actually a very altruistic way, so it's a little trickier. But removing bread of shame is about understanding what can the vessel hold? What is gonna be right for the vessel? What's gonna make them appreciate? Because you want them to walk away with appreciation and the ability to do something with it to become a creator. If you just solve their problem, it's a problem. If you give them information that they cannot take action on, it's a problem. Right? If somebody comes to me and says, what do you think I should do in this relationship? Should I stay or go? And I know they are staying no matter what I'm gonna say. If I say to go, it's considered to be one of the most negative actions, where that energy goes completely to the negative side and it causes chaos in my life. If you know someone's not gonna do something, you should not say an opinion at all. This is why they said actually that Kabbalah should not be taught to everyone. And this is what I learned. I asked the question, why do they say Kabbalah should not be taught to everyone? Because the minute somebody knows what is the right or wrong thing to do, and they still choose to do the wrong thing, it's more negative. So you have to be very careful in the information that you share. And this is also why having a barrier to entry is important. Who do you think appreciates more? Someone who pays me $25,000 for an hour of my time, or somebody who pays $300, or somebody who pays nothing and just accosts you on the street and says, I need some advice? What do you think? I'll tell you, the people who have paid more see miracles. I get greater messages, and they come with a level of appreciation where at the end of the meeting, it's like, what more can I do for you? People who pay less say, that's all I got. So as soon as you see somebody doesn't appreciate, you must know there's an imbalance. Actually, there was an overgiving of energy.
May I share some, maybe is a problem, but my problem was I never cared to have appreciation. I thought if I do something, it's for the joy that I receive by seeing others are happy. So it wasn't appreciation. When I was told I could have done more, or I should have done more, and I should have shared more, and I haven't, then I started to realize that there is something discord in this relationship.
Correct.
And I had a friend, unfortunately passed away. She told me, you created bread of shame. And she told me, I will explain it to you more and more, which I didn't have the chance. Now,
Have you taken Kabbalah 1?
I'm actually following you for the last 2 years, and I'm sharing all the stuff that you put Instagram in my Instagram, because I follow a lot of spiritual guru. I like you and another one because
I'm your favorite spiritual guru.
one more too. But you make sense in an easy way that I understand.
Okay, by the way, you just said something very powerful, and I'll end it here. I appreciate that. You said, I make sense, right? I make sense. That's a good thing, to make sense. You know, how long are my podcasts usually? 15 to 20. 20 would be a little too much. 15 minutes. Do you understand why I only do 15 minutes? Right? When you somebody sends you a podcast, you gotta listen to this, and I look at it, it's like an hour and 20 minutes. I'm thinking to myself, almost like that's a lack of human dignity that you wouldn't send me that. Even if it's packed with like the most unbelievable information, why do we look at that and feel like, ugh, why do we feel that way? They're giving you gold, an hour and 20 minutes of gold. Like, this will change your life. But if someone said this will change your life and it's 2 minutes long, we're all clicking on it. Because I realize they're being very sensitive to my vessel. They understand my vessel. They feel my vessel. I feel like 15 minutes is almost like I can be a guarantee that I'm being sensitive to your vessel. Now, will there be longer form content, such as this 8-hour session? Sure. But I'm just going to leave it here. And if you would like to have it, you can come for it. And half of you traveled, which means you made this effort. You got on planes. Who flew the longest here? Last time we had Dubai, 15 hours. Who flew? Anybody? Anything cross country here? Where'd you come from? Mexico? Yeah, you came from Mexico. Where'd you come from? You came from Italy. For this? This, okay. It's coming for work. I'm like, oh my God, shit, there's a seminar here. All right, so the point is, the effort that is made, especially if it's difficult for you, cost-wise, effort-wise, the effort builds the vessel to allow the energy in. So I think that the theme of removing bread of shame is really asking the Creator, what does this person need? What can they handle? What's right for them? Not having anything to do with what I'm in the mood to do. Okay?